What is a situation you have almost no sympathy with? Had a friend whose boyfriend cheated on her like 5 times in 2 years. Always calling me at 3 a.m. crying. Calling him names. And saying she is dumping him. She ended up marrying him, and the first phone call I got I hung up. You married the fool, you deal with it and quit waking me up. Driving drunk. Actually zero sympathy with. One of my now former friends said that driving drunk is his right. He went berserk when he was charged with a DUI. He said that he went to jail because he was using his freedom wrong. No, dumbass. It's because you were putting others' lives in danger. I grew up with an alcoholic father who drove impaired 90% of the time. He almost got us killed more times than I can count. No sympathy. He's the reason why I only drink 1 or 2 drinks maybe once a year. My sister-in-law has walked out of half a dozen jobs in as many months and now is having trouble getting hired. I used to prepare her resume for her, but I'm not anymore. I can't polish a turd. People who are suddenly held accountable for their actions when they thought they would get away with whatever it was. People who text and drive because of someone who did just that. I lost a family member who should still be alive right now because of the person who texted while driving. My grandpa died. He should still be here. He should have seen me learn to drive, go on a first date, attend school dances, graduate high school, and witness me turn 21. But that never happened because someone thought their phone was more important than the people around them on the road. I miss him every day, and soon it'll be 9 years since he passed. Weaponized incompetence. When a parent abuses their child so much that their child eventually grows up and disowns them. I especially don't care when the parent then has no one to care for them in their old age. History class at school. A boy copied and pasted his essay from Wikipedia and didn't even take the annotation numbers out. And he was old enough that he should have known way better. The teacher was a strict man, and you can guess how that went. I cheated on my homework at school too. But that was just laziness. People who buy designer dogs from puppy mills then complain about the vet bills for the breed's well-known hereditary issues. Cheaters, relationship, being exposed, confronted about their behavior. My ex. She's been divorced 3 times. Is in court battles with all 3. Gets her kid taken away until she could prove she was mentally competent. Cries victim in every single situation that doesn't go her way. Struggles financially all the time but without ever getting an actual job. And refuses to admit any of this is her fault in any way whatsoever. I have no sympathy for people like this. Rude to retail worker, like I might have waived the fees if you were nice but you weren't, so $. Coming from someone with quite significant mental issues. I empathize but do not sympathize for people blaming bad, inappropriate behavior on mental illness. Your mental health can be a reason but not an excuse for poor behavior. If you are aware of your mental issues, you need to take the proper actions to act appropriately or take accountability for your actions. Yes, mental illness 10,000% affects how you think and act, but it is also your job to take accountability rather than blaming your inappropriate behavior on something that you know you have to work around. There are obviously exceptions when it comes to very, very serious mental illnesses that are not controllable, but if you are at that point, you should be taking steps to work on with it to keep yourself and others safe. But at the end of the day, other people should never be treated poorly just because you have a mental illness. Bullfighters getting gored. Maybe you shouldn't have decided to torture an animal for entertainment. People who bring infants to movie theaters. People who make the same stupid mistakes, thinking there will be a new outcome. People who complain about barely making it to their next paycheck and order 3 Uber Eats meals a day. Guys who got someone pregnant but didn't wear a condom. One thing. Only one thing you had to do. As a woman who is on birth control, I would never have sex without a condom. The risk isn't worth it. But every guy I've ever hooked up with has wanted to go without. Like seriously? How are you surprised when something happens then? I'd be triple wrapping that SHT if it were me. People who keep crying over their situation but refuse to make any changes to make their situation better. Edit. I do still sympathize with them, of course. But it just seems pointless. Drinking and driving.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicuricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.